Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly coin and banknote news video by the Purple Penny. My name is Mark, I own and run the Purple Penny along with my wife Catherine. We've been doing these videos for about 4 years, and the Purple Penny is a small family owned coin, banknotes and collectible shop in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. We're coming up to our 5th birthday, or the shop is at least, in the middle of May. We buy and sell coins, banknotes and collectibles, and we are authorised dealers for the Royal Australian Mint. So sometimes when the Mint has a release, we get some of those products and we sell them here through the shop. The last week was a short week last week. Of course, we were closed for Anzac Day on Thursday. I don't recall anything of any great interest that came through the door. I will just say that the $2 market continues to soften, and we've had a lot of $2 stuff come in the last couple of weeks, so keep an eye out on our website because we are re-evaluating the pricing of all of our $2 stock as we find time. As Catherine or I reprice things, we'll pop that up to the top of the listings on our website, so if you are after some cheap $2 stuff, do keep an eye on the website because it will all pop up there over time. Right, let's jump into the news before we go any further. So there is going to be a Mint release on Thursday. The Mint is releasing the Tooth Fairy kit, the annual Tooth Fairy kit, and we've just got notice this morning that we're allowed to talk about the Tooth Fairy card, which we're getting. They'll be available on Thursday morning at 8 o'clock Adelaide time, 8:30 in the eastern states, and if you're in Western Australia, you have to do your own time maths because I don't know the exact time difference. The card this year is $20. If you are here in Adelaide and able to come into the shop, please do register your interest with us today or sort of by lunchtime tomorrow at the latest, and we will put you on the list. If you notify us after lunchtime tomorrow, then you won't get added to that list because it's too late. There should be some up on our website, I hope. There's no guarantees, of course, but do check out our website at 8 o'clock on Thursday, 8 o'clock Adelaide time. The card isn't available through the Mint. You can only get the kit through the Mint, and we don't have the kit. You can only get the card through us, so do watch out for that. Now, as I announced a couple of weeks ago, we're closed in the second half of May, and I'll just put... I have failed to put up the slide. Just give me 1 second to do that. Just create that slide for the closure dates. There it is there. So we are closed from the 12th of May to the 4th of June. So that means we've only got this week and next week trading left here in the shop. So we're closing, the last day of trading will be Saturday the 11th of May, and we'll be reopening on Wednesday the 5th of June. We will not be taking any website orders, we'll not be answering any emails or answering any phone calls in that time, so I really wouldn't bother trying to contact us that way while we're away. If there are any Mint releases while we're away, we do have an arrangement in place with the Mint for that. That's all been sorted out today by Catherine, but we are not taking any interest in any Mint releases that are happening while we're away. We don't know what they are, but we're not taking any interest in them. So, and there's no point messaging us or emailing us or anything like that when we're away, because I simply will not look at that stuff or will not look at the phone messages. Rest assured, those people who support us, so the people who came in and bought an AFL set from us and show up to pick up their orders that they've expressed interest in, that they will get supported when we come back with any new releases that happen when we're away. So I do apologise if that causes any angst or inconvenience for people while we're away, but we just need to have some time off. So we'll be closed from the 12th of May until the 4th of June. What does that mean for the videos? It means that next Monday is the last video until June, which it's kind of snuck up on us a fair bit. But there we go, that's where we're at with the closure. Right, now let's just say a few hellos here. Hello Cam, hello Michelle, hello Alison, hello Antonius, John, Peter. Oh, Peter. So Peter Andrews is the author of Independent Coin News, which is an online coin magazine. It's free. It's published bi-monthly. I think it's due out in the next few days. Feel free to correct me there, Peter. So if you want to sign up to Independent Coin News, which is an independent free online coin magazine, then just jump online and Google Independent Coin News and you can sign up fairly easily that way. It is an excellent magazine. It's certainly a lot different to the Australian Coin Review magazine, and contains a lot more sort of in-depth content and is well worth a read. So thank you, Peter, for producing that. Hello Patrick, hello Angela, hello Greg, hello Jason, hello Ronalyn, Peter, Ray, George, Wendy, Damien, Charles, Greg and Paul Spink. So thank you everyone for joining in today. Now, coins in the news this week. This is a good one. It's a gentleman in Chile who metal detects beaches and parks and had a bit of a family crisis. So he took it upon himself to go the extra mile and spend a whole week of long days and presumably early evenings metal detecting local parks and beaches. And he managed to detect somewhere between 200,000 and 250,000 Chilean pesos in that period. And he sat up all night cleaning them up so that you could take them to the bank and deposit them in the bank and buy his daughter a TV. So well done to that gentleman for metal detecting a TV for his daughter. Peter says Independent Coin News is due out tomorrow. So thank you for that, Peter. Hello, Bevan. How are you? Next item in the news is a Chinese counterfeiting ring has been busted in Spain after a 6-year investigation between Interpol, Spanish police and various other policing organisations in Europe. A counterfeiting ring has been detected in Toledo in Spain. 6 Chinese nationals were arrested. This is after 6 years of them distributing fake euros in various cities and towns across Europe. It is very difficult to trace counterfeit coins once they're released into circulation, especially if the perpetrators spread them around geographically as these ones did. So after a 6-year investigation, this ring has finally been busted. 6 people have been arrested, and it's believed that they distributed about 500,000 euro coins in 6 years. Now that really doesn't sound like much, but I guess 500,000 euros split amongst 6 people is what about 86,000 euros each. I don't know if they're working full time, but I suspect that they thought it was pretty good money, but that's been knocked on the head. Now, of course, there are security features integral with the euro coin design. It's a bimetal coin. Apparently the core is slightly magnetic. The edge reading is quite distinctive. And the German bank was actually quite contemptuous of the quality of these counterfeits and said that they were very easily detectable if you actually looked at the coins themselves, but that didn't stop these people managing to distribute 500,000 of them. So just a comment here about the metal detecting here. JJ says metal detecting is one way to make income, and they've seen people collecting cans at night, but coin detecting would be the way to go, I guess. Because we get quite a lot of metal detectorists in here, it really depends on how heavily detected the areas that you detect are. Certainly if you're the first person onto a site or the only person detecting a popular beach, then it's probably you make a little bit of money, but from most people I speak to, it is a lot of hard work detecting. Certainly not a way of making a living as far as I'm aware. Now the next story here is about a almost complete collection of 19th century US $1 gold coins. If you've ever seen a $1 gold coin, they're very small, quite a bit smaller than a 5-cent piece. And this collection was assembled by US dealer Henry Chapman in the late 19th century and early 20th century on behalf of a wealthy banking family. I don't believe the collection was actually sold to the banking family, so as a consequence the collection was put away. It has basically been in storage since about 1920 or so, and Chapman's descendants, who owned the safe that had the coins in it, have finally taken the collection out and decided to sell it. They thought it might be worth about $50,000. Turns out it's probably worth $2 million or more, and it includes several finest known examples of particular $1 coin types. Beautiful picture up the top there of a 1863 $1 gold coin. It's been graded by PCGS as MS68. This was out of that particular collection, and that's valued sort of roughly at about US $300,000. It's got a population there that you can see of 2 and 0, and if you're not sure what the population statistics like that mean, that basically means that PCGS MS68 population 2 means there's 2 at MS68, and the /0 is an indicator of how many coins are graded higher than that, and in this case /0 means there are no coins graded higher than this particular coin. So this is only one of 2 available. Now that $300,000 is just from the PCGS price guide, but when there's only a population of 2, all you need is 3 or 4 people willing to pay up for this coin at auction, and these coins are being sold at auction, and it could easily go for a lot more than that. The US coin collecting community is a lot bigger than Australia's, and they've got a lot more money in play than perhaps is available here in Australia. So some of these top pop coins can go for absolute astronomical money. Now the next news story here is it's a really interesting one actually. It's about a collection of coins that was put together between about 1850 and 1920 by a Danish businessman called Lars Bruun. Lars Bruun made a significant fortune exporting Danish butter, and he was a lifelong coin collector, and he put together what is believed to be the finest and largest and certainly the most valuable Scandinavian coin collection of all time. And when he died in 1923, he willed the collection to the Danish National Coin Collection, and he wanted his collection to be a backup to the Danish National Coin Collection, so that if the Danish National Coin Collection was ever damaged or stolen or destroyed, then Lars' collection could replace it. And his will allowed for that collection to be a backup for 100 years. And in 2011, that time elapsed, and the collection then passed into private hands, and Lars' will, which was almost 100 years old at that point, stated that the collection was to be sold and the proceeds distributed amongst his descendants. It was in storage for 20,000 plus items in storage for 100 years, and in 2011 those items were insured for $72.5 million. The collection has now passed into his descendants' hands, and it's going to be auctioned through Stack's Bowers, and they believe that it is the most valuable non-US coin collection to have entered the market in history. So that's a pretty big deal, the most valuable non-US coin collection to have entered the market in history. There's no catalogues available yet for it, but we're talking about 20,000 items, and Stack's Bowers is going to have several auctions to disperse this collection amongst the collecting community. Pretty amazing story there, and it's amazing that a man's will 100 years later is still dictating what happens to his collection. So let me just put this slide back together here. Now, if you saw our Facebook page this week, you may have noticed that we were on the front page of the 9.com.au website for a particular coin error, which the journalist completely got wrong. So it was this error here. Now they called this a clipped planchet. If you've been around error coins for a while, you know this isn't a clipped planchet. It's an indented planchet. So what's happened here is this 20-cent piece has been struck against a fragment of a coin. It's been struck against a well, the shape of the fragment is that shape of that indent there that you can see on the bottom of the reverse of the coin, and that fragment has been struck as well. So as a result of that, you can actually see a partial brockage inside that indented area. So if you look at the bottom of that indented area, you can see the bottom of the coin shoulder and some other key characteristics in there. So not a clip planchet, it's called an indented planchet with partial brockage impression. So thank you to the journalist for featuring the Purple Penny website, but no thank you for the journalist for getting what the error was wrong. And to the person who gave Catherine an absolute hiding on the phone on Friday about her 1998, sorry, I've forgotten the year of this coin, 1978 20 cent. The person who gave Catherine a hiding on the phone on Friday because she had a 1978 20 cent and she would not listen to Catherine about the one in the news story being an error. Please don't ring again because you were very impolite. Now, today is the last Monday of the month, and for the last year or so that means that it's question and answer day, and I usually put up a post earlier in the day asking for questions. So I will just address some questions that we had this week from people. We had a question from someone via Facebook message asking if we had archive safe PNC covers. Yes, we do. So Catherine has these. Catherine has these polypropylene sleeves here, which are the right size to put PNCs into. So PNCs are quite often shipped from Australia Post in PVC covers. So Catherine sourced these polypropylene covers, which are essentially the same size. And whenever we get PNCs in here, we toss the PVC cover and put the PNC in this. These are available on the shelf here. There's 100 of them for $12. So these are your archival safe PNC covers. We had someone else ask us about capsules that fit $2 coins, and it's a good opportunity to talk about a new product that Lighthouse has released in the last couple of weeks. So previously we recommended that people used 21mm capsules for $2 coins, and Lighthouse has actually gone to Renix, I should say, has gone to Lighthouse and had a capsule made specifically for $2 coins. You can see there, the box is labelled $2. So these are 20.5mm. These fit $2 coins perfectly without rattling, and for some reason they're cheaper than the 21mm capsules. So these are just $6. It's for a box of 10 capsules, and if you come into the shop here, they're on the counter. $6 for a box of 10 capsules for $2 coins. So thank you for the person who asked that question. So I've got a list of questions here. I'm going to work through them as I can. Someone asked, if the Mint has unlimited releases, why do they limit the amount that people can purchase? Well, that's actually quite an easy one. Unlimited doesn't mean unlimited numbers, it means made to demand. So that doesn't mean that the Mint's going to make an infinite number of things. And the other thing the Mint wants to do is ensure that as many collectors as possible get their hands on new releases. And we do the same thing here in the shop. So that means, let's say for example, the 2024 Mint set comes out, and no, I don't know when the 2024 Mint set is coming out, and the Mint says that's unlimited. They might have a initial production run of 20,000 sets, and they distribute that amongst their authorised dealer network as best they can, and then they make a number available through their website of 10,000, for example. They might say that they'll limit that to 3 per person because they don't want people swanning in and buying 200 or 300 of them and then reselling them for a profit. And we're exactly the same here in the shop. I'm fully aware that there are customers of ours that break up Mint sets and proof sets and sell off individual coins, and I know exactly who they are. And if we were to get 100 mint sets tomorrow from the mint, and as I said, I don't know when the mint sets are coming, then those people would only get 1 or 2 of those sets. We're certainly not going to sell all of our sets to people that are just going to break them up and resell them for a profit. We want people to be able to collect these things, and the mint is the same. So unlimited release doesn't mean unlimited quantities when you buy them. So while we're on the subject of uncirculated sets, someone asked if there's going to be uncirculated sets before Christmas. Probably. And we don't know. I've already had 2 phone calls about it today. We just don't know. And I'm not being difficult, and Catherine's not being difficult when we say we don't know. We just don't know what's happening. They will happen, I'm quite certain of it, but we don't know when. Someone said, why is there pinning on some coins in older proof sets? And I have seen this from time to time, coins in older proof sets that have hard green corrosion on them. Don't know. It could be troubles with the quality of the metal that the coins were made from back then. It could be a slightly different plastic in there. Maybe there was some contamination. You don't see it very often on newer sets, but that being said, we still see sets from the 90s and even the 2000s that have imperfections in them, debris in there, or some contaminant on the surface of the coin. So it does happen. So sorry, I don't have a definitive answer to that one, to the person who answered that. Now, someone asked, what would I value an unk coin with a scratch on it? Now, like most things with coin collecting, it depends. If you had a 1962 sixpence that was uncirculated with a scratch on it, it's just worth bullion. If you have an uncirculated 1932 florin with a scratch on it, then it is certainly still worth, probably $1,000 or more, depending on how bad the scratch is, because it's still a key date coin. So, there's no hard and fast rule as to what an uncirculated coin with a scratch on it is worth. I guess if we're thinking about decimal coins, for example, a uncirculated 2018 Eternal Flame $2 coin with a large scratch on it is probably unsaleable, but an uncirculated 2012 Red Poppy with a large scratch on it with good paint would still be worth $100 or $150 because people still chase them. So there's no hard and fast rule for that. Someone asked, has PCGS's grading become tougher? I don't know, but does PCGS grading change over time? Yeah, it absolutely does. I guess they're always refining their standards, and then they have, internal quality standards that might change over time. Has it become tougher recently? I don't know. We don't get enough coins graded these days to really keep track of that sort of thing. We haven't done a submission in over 6 months, and we probably won't do one in the next few months. So I really just don't know about that. Someone else asked about why filler coins aren't always marked as copy or replica. Now, what's a filler coin? A filler coin is a coin that sits in a collection in place of a genuine example, perhaps because the genuine examples are impossible to get or too expensive. Is there a legal requirement in Australia to mark replica coins as replicas or copies? I don't believe there is. I believe the US eBay enforces that sort of policy, but again, I don't believe there's a law in America that requires filler coins to be marked as copy. I guess the logical next step question for this is, what do I think about replica coins and filler coins? Well, they're okay, and I think in most cases the people who buy them aren't buying them to take the place of a real coin, to try and pretend that it's a real coin. I think lots of people buy replica 1930 pennies to fill up that last hole in the album. I think where they become problematic is when a collection is passed on to someone and notes aren't there saying that the 1930 penny and the 2221 overdate and everything aren't replicas, and they get their hopes up. I have told this story before, but we did have a lady come in about 6 months ago who was very short of money, and she wanted to sell her father's centenary florins, and she had several of them. And they were all fake, every last one of them, and she was gutted. And I'm quite sure that her father knew that they were fakes, but he had neglected to mention that to his daughter. So I did feel sorry for her, but unfortunately that's the way it is. Do I think replica coins should be marked as filler or copy or replica? Yeah, I probably think they do. They should be, because it does make our job a lot easier. Because sometimes people, they ask me, how do you know that's a replica? And I just say, well, because it doesn't look right. And then they say, but why doesn't it look right? And it's like, well, because I look at thousands of coins every week and I know that's not a real coin. I just don't know how else to explain it sometimes. Next question. Someone asked about what resources there are for gold sovereigns. Get yourself a Renix book if you're interested in Australian gold sovereigns. There's a list of all the sovereigns that were minted in Australia in there, along with their specifications and mintages and catalogue values and things like that. Eric Eigner's site, Drake Sterling Coins, has some really useful gold sovereign resources up there. The gold sovereign as we know it which is about just under 8 grams, a 22 carat coin which is just under 8 grams. There's 0.2347 ounces of gold in it. So today that's about just under $900 worth of gold in a gold sovereign. In Australia they were minted from 1855 to 19, Peter please correct me, 31 I think. Most of them are quite high mintages. They're not uncommon. If you're after a real one, probably try to buy one from a reputable dealer. The person who asked this question asked if we have any gold sovereigns. Yes, we've always got gold sovereigns. There's numismatic ones, and by numismatic ones I mean coins that have collector value above their gold value, listed on our website most of the time. There's also some in trays in our cabinets, but we also have bullion coins. We have a daily bullion price for gold sovereigns, and we usually have several of those. So if you do want a gold sovereign or you want to see a real one, just come into the shop and ask and we'll show you one. So thank you for the person who asked that question. Next question, how can you tell if a 1937 or 38 crown is real? Well, weigh it is the best first point. So get to know what the proper weight of a crown is, and I've just forgotten that off the top of my head. Hang on. So I have a Renix book for reference by my desk because I can't remember everything. So a crown should weigh 28.27 grams. They're sterling silver with the balance of the non-silver content being copper. They are not magnetic. So test if it's magnetic. A lot of fakes are magnetic. They're not all magnetic though. But if a coin is magnetic, it's certainly fake. If the weight is wrong, and what does wrong mean? Probably more than half a gram out, I would be suspicious of a coin. There are some die characteristics which are found on common 1938 crown fakes. And the other way, and this is another one of these things that I can't explain, is the colour is wrong. I can look at a page of silver coins and that has one non-silver coin in it that maybe is made of nickel or copper nickel or something, and I can point that out to you because the colour is different. Silver is a different colour to copper nickel and zinc, copper zinc, and whatever alloys they use for fake coins. So sometimes you can test that way. You can try the ring test. So the ring test is rolling the coin around on a hard surface, and it makes a different noise if it's got silver in it. But of course the easiest way is to bring in the coin in here and we'll have a look at it for you and tell you whether we think it's real or fake. I certainly wouldn't, my first step wouldn't be to get it graded because you still get charged a grading fee for a counterfeit coin from PCGS or NGC. There are a lot of things that you can do before you resort to spending money with them. Right, last question was, what are some reputable selling sites? This was Patrick. ThePurplePenny.com is a reputable selling site. That's about, and other sort of well-known dealers' websites. Sterling Currency in Western Australia, Drake Sterling, as I've already mentioned, Colonial Coins, Downies, buying through Roxbury's Auction House, well-known numismatists on social media, so Peter Andrews, Ian Bell, those sorts of people. Now, what groups are better than others, I don't know, and I'm certainly not going to recommend any Facebook group over another, because we're not active on selling on Facebook groups. And judging by my experience with a few Facebook groups in the last week, I don't necessarily think the administrators and so-called topic experts on those Facebook groups really know what they're doing either. So I'm not going to recommend any Facebook groups. But yeah, if it was me and I was getting started, I would find a dealer to buy from, read their reviews, ask them, if you come in here and you buy a coin and you find out it's fake, we'll just give you your money back. And there's been no questions asked about that. Ask them about their return policy and things like that. But certainly start with a dealer to begin with. Buying on eBay is an absolute crapshoot. I certainly wouldn't buy on eBay if you don't know what you're doing, because I've certainly had my fingers burnt and I do know what I'm doing. So if you're a babe in the woods, then I would steer clear of eBay for high value things. Right, that's it for the day. Thank you everyone for ask questions. Do remember, next week is our last video until June. The Tooth Fairy release on Thursday. If you're interested in that, send us through a message and we'll put you on our list and we'll try and supply you with something. We'll do our best for everyone. And that's it for this week. So happy collecting, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.